Hello. This is the presentation on time management skills. This presentation is brought to you by the Office of Learning Services here at Millersville University. This will be part one of the time management presentation. At the end of this workshop, you should be able to have the following skills. You should be able to think critically about time management and why it is important for your education. You should be able to create efficient weekly schedules for yourself so that you have a plan for the entire semester. You should be able to create a prioritized task list. This list will be prioritized based upon importance and urgency, and you should be able to identify the difference between these two by the end of the presentation. First, we want to discuss the benefits of time management. Time management actually helps one gain more time. Instead of procrastinating and spending more time doing projects and assignments, one will be able to gain more time for those free time activities. Once you have efficiently completed each assignment, you will then have more time to do other extracurricular activities or more free time activities. Time management will also motivate and initiate those tasks. It's important to initiate the task. Many people have trouble just beginning the assignment, and once they begin the assignment, they can get it done, but just getting started is the problem. And many people end up procrastinating. So with that, it will also help you reduce those avoidance behaviors that you end up engaging in when you do procrastinate and when you become unmotivated. So it will help reduce those avoidance techniques that many people engage in. It'll also promote review of your work. You'll have more time to review and edit your materials so that it's your best effort for your class, and you will hopefully be attaining better grades. It will also help eliminate cramming. Many people end up cramming for tests, for assignments, and for papers because they have not adequately managed their time. So this will eliminate that cramming feeling. And then with that, it will also reduce that anxiety that many people feel when they are reduced to cramming and they are unable to appropriately manage their time. So there are 3 strategies for managing one's time. There is the semester calendar, which can easily be adapted from a syllabus from your class. There's the weekly schedule, in which you can look at each week in a planner or whatever calendar that you use so that you can plan out what you need to do each week. And then there's also the daily to-do list. So many people like to jot down little bullets of what they need to do that day and check them off that way. I find that the most efficient way to manage your time is to utilize all 3 of these strategies at the same time so that you are getting an idea about what the entire semester looks like over several months. You get an idea of what you need to do that week, as well as an idea of what is going on that specific day. So the semester calendar, as I said earlier, can come straight from your course syllabi. This is when one would need to transfer over any major assignments or important due dates. This would be midterms or exams, any quizzes, papers, projects. All of these are very important dates that will be due for various classes. So you would want to transfer all of these for each class onto your calendar, onto that semester calendar. And with that, you would also want to make sure that these events are mainly academic. It can be helpful to identify when you will be busy with any tournaments or games or extracurricular activities so that you know not to schedule to complete any assignments on those days, but you want to keep it primarily academic. You don't need to be adding in hanging out with friends or watching a movie. Those can be kept to your personal calendars. You also want to make sure that this semester calendar is visible and easily accessible in a location that you are frequently in. So this would be your room or the area surrounding your desk. The semester calendar is also helpful if you have a planner that you can see months at a time instead of just weekly, so you can see a full month, and that way you can transfer those important dates onto those full monthly calendars. And then you want to look at this either once or twice a day to check your progress on the month, the week, the day, and make sure that you're not forgetting about any of those important dates. Your weekly schedule is going to be that semester calendar broken down, and that is easily creatable from that semester calendar. So if you have a planner, oftentimes they have the full month and then they have the weeks broken down. And that is going to be really helpful with specific assignments, smaller due dates like homework or projects that you've broken down into smaller increments. And this will be more reasonable for people to keep track of. It will not be as intimidating as those large semester calendars. But it can be more efficient to help you accomplish what you think you're going to be able to get done that week. It's also important in this weekly schedule to make time for fun, make time for breaks. We do not want to be filling our schedule with academic work the entire day, because it's not reasonable for an individual to be spending 10 to 12 hours a day on academic work. We want to make sure we're spending about 8 hours to 9 hours a day, and that way you have time for breaks, for fun, for hanging out with your friends, and you can feel refreshed the next day to get your new list done. So it's also important to plan for the unplanned, and in this sense it means that waiting till the last minute to get something done is not going to be beneficial, because there can be unplanned events that prevent you from accomplishing things at the last minute. So to plan for the unplanned would be to plan far ahead of time to get something done, so that if something does come up, you still have more time. And then you want to schedule to study at least 2 hours per hour that you are in class. So if you have 3 hours of class each week, you would want to be spending 6 hours of studying outside of that class. That can be very overwhelming for people when they think about it in this sense, but I like to remind students that you are a full-time student, and so this is a full-time job essentially. Many people who are in a full-time job are spending 40 hours a week engaging in that work, whether it's at home or in the office. So in a sense, that is what you are doing as a student. You are supposed to be spending that much time dedicated to your academics as a student. And then the daily to-do list. This is a great and helpful way to organize what you need to be accomplishing that day. Sometimes people like to do this before bed or in the morning before the day starts, so that you are fully prepared and can make time throughout the day. This is helpful. All you need is just a piece of paper, and then you write down what needs to be done that day. This can be done if you have a planner and then you have that weekly weekly designated spot for Monday through Friday. You can write there, make a list on that day of what you need to get done. The important part is that you need to list the items in order of importance, and then you also want to make sure that you're crossing it off so that you know that this is done for the day and that you've completed that task. It's also helpful not to write too much on one day. You want to be realistic about what you can get done. So keep a pencil and a pen by your bed so that as you are getting ready, you can make a little note of what you want to do the next day, what you think you'll have time for based on your schedule, and things like that. So as I discussed earlier, you want to be ranking that to-do list in order of importance. So that would mean identifying what is urgent and what needs to be done right away, as well as what is important. This can be very difficult for some people because there's a difference between urgency and importance, and not many people realize there is a difference. And so we have broken down the differences in urgency and important into 4 different categories. As you can see, there are things that are urgent and important, things that are just important, things that are urgent and not important, and then things that are neither important nor urgent. So we will be discussing the following 4 categories in the next presentation. So please see presentation 2 for time management skills. Thank you so much.